I don't know if it was Swalwell or if the sharks could just smell blood in the water. All I know is Biden had a target on his back. And the way it started didn't even come from him, right? It didn't come from him. It didn't come from Swalwell. No, Marianne Williamson, she was endorsing reparations. She was talking about race. And Kamala Harris was like, the rest of you need to sit your asses down.
I do not believe that the average American is a racist, but the average American is woefully undereducated about the history of race in the United States.
Ms. Williamson, thank you very much.
Vice President Biden, we're going to get to you. Hang on, we're going to get to
you. Stage, I would like to speak on the issue of race.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. You know, people always accuse black people of playing the race card, but that was the right time to use the race card. Yeah. And by the way, for those asking, the race card is a real card, yes. I had one too, but I used it already to get a free Jamba Juice. Like, we have it for different reasons. So the issue of race had now been brought up at the debates. And you might remember Biden had some problems with that last week when he seemed to be pro the relationships with segregationists and talking about how they were good people. So now that Kamala had the floor, she was going to wipe it with Biden.
I'm going to now direct this at Vice President Biden. I do not believe you are a racist. And I agree with you when you commit yourself to the importance of finding common ground. But I also believe, and it's personal, and I was actually it was hurtful to hear you talk about the reputations of two United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing. And, you know, there was a little girl in California who was part of the second class to integrate her public schools. And she was bused to school every day. And that little girl was me.
Holy shit. She just pulled an M. Night Shyamalan. She was black the whole movie. I didn't see that coming. Did you see that coming? That moment was so brutal on Joe Biden. For the first time, I wanted to give him a massage. And it didn't get any better from there.
Do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well, there was a failure of states to integrate public schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a local decision. So that's where the federal
government must step in. That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there are moments in history where states fail to preserve the civil rights of all people.
Isn't this the part where someone's supposed to throw in a towel? Isn't that how this works? Yo, because at this point, Kamala was bussing Biden right out of the debate. She was killing it. Everything she said made sense. She was connecting with the crowd. She had him. And Biden, like, he seemed like he was angry. He wasn't looking at her. He wasn't connecting. I didn't even know if he was, like, messed up in his mind. All I know is Biden wasn't having a good time. Seriously, Biden hasn't had such an intense standoff with a black woman since Michelle caught him sneaking a Big Mac to Barack. This hasn't happened to him in a long time. And that moment there with Kamala, that's why you have to love black women. Yeah, you have to love them. You think they've forgotten what you did. And out of nowhere, they will spring that shit in. My mom would do that shit to me all the time. She'd be like, Trevor, you remember that food you stole in 1991? I'd be like, no, mommy!